Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the second half here of Dropped Frames. I think, did you? Oh, you're. Oh, okay. You're on for it. I was confused as to what was
Oh yeah. I was my keyboard was a little bit forward. I was typing.
Gotcha. Anyways, let's talk Gears Tactics for a bit. Hey Zeke, you talked about how you don't like Overwatch creep and you hate having to Overwatch nonstop, and
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you're not okay. Gears might not be for you. Uh, that
Boom.
said, that said, I will say this about Gears Tactics: when you Overwatch and all of your crew is Overwatched with you on a bunch of little annoying mobs, it looks really fucking cool. And it's funny that I talked about that because I paused it because here's that very process playing out in front of you in this map. Then I'll talk about actual Gears. It is a lot of overwatching, um, but it's because of how the game, like, it's XCOM style game, but like, look at the animation on that. Those guys just get fucking shredded and shit. It's awesome. But that it's not
Oh
just a
yeah. You
singular
don't just
shot.
hit one guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So let's Gears Tactics is essentially Gears of War, completely through and through, built into a tactics slash XCOM game, which sounds like a really stupid statement, but they fucking like nailed the Gears of War aesthetic, feel, brutality, the idea that if a enemy is downed and you walk over and execute them, everyone in your entire party gets an extra move or an extra action. Like that type of shit just feels cool, and it also reinforces a very aggressive style of play. There's certain maps where like everyone has a chainsaw or a bayonet, right? And depending on how you spec your different characters, and there's 18 different nodes with 4 different corners of like specialization that each character can go to, and I think there's 5 different classes. So there's a lot of like variety there. But depending on where you go with some of those, like if you rush at them and like chainsaw a guy, then your guy will get an extra attack that round. But you can't use the chainsaw because it's on like a 5 round or 4 round cooldown. So then you bring another guy up and have him chainsaw someone. So then everyone else except him gets another round. And you kind of just like ping pong back and forth. It's very XCOM 2 in the sense that everyone on your side goes and then everyone on their side goes. Um, but it's unlike XCOM or XCOM 2 in the sense of you can make one action on one single character and then go to someone completely different and then come back. So you're not like committed to a single
You can split the turns up.
yeah, committed to a single hero. Everyone gets 3 actions to start with. So you have a lot of choices right from the get-go. That's across 4 characters. I don't know if you ever get more than that. I think a little more than halfway through. I don't think they're going to ever add more than that. There's also things that you can get. So you get a 50% chance to get an extra action at the start of a round on certain characters. I've had certain characters where you get like, I think in a single round, I had like 8 actions on a guy. And it really made for like cool decisions because of how aggressive and how crazy you could play that. There is with the Overwatch creep, there is like activating pods that a lot of people had issues with in XCOM 2 or maybe even XCOM 1 with that, where they don't like that you kind of have to creep up and you might just stumble into the next like pod activation. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I think in a lot of ways, the issues that like XCOM 1 had that were solved in XCOM 2 for people are back in this game, but slightly
You got
different.
to kind of learn it for themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Or they were okay with how that functioned in this specific game because it is not like I say XCOM is a type of game, but it's a little bit unfair to like the tactic world, and I really should say tactics, but XCOM is just so synonymous with kind of what XCOM is, so that's why I say it so often. But it's a little bit unfair to say that about all tactics games. Anyways, that's a whole nother stupid conversation, semantics at that point. But yeah, apart from that, like it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is a refreshing game to play a tactics game that's not XCOM, that looks nothing like XCOM, and have a lot of fun with it. That's probably my one thing that I'm most excited about is the game looks really good. I'll get into some actual cutscenes at some point here. Also, how do you guys feel about boss spoilers? Should I show a boss? I won't show
Is
the
it like a
mechanics.
boss? Like, is it unique mechanics kind of stuff?
Yeah, but I won't leave it on the mechanics long enough.
Okay, I'm gonna not probably look at the screen, but feel free to keep going.
I'll show it real quick. I died a lot on the boss. Here's a boss.
Oh, I definitely don't want to see it then.
That's not the boss. Here's the boss. If you've played Gears before, you know what the fuck that thing is. And fuck, is it a nightmare to deal with in a tactics world. He's fucking huge and some nonsense happens. And yeah, it is a pain in the ass. That said, it was a lot of fun. That was at the end of Act 1. I'm assuming there's more than that, boss-wise. And I'm very excited to see it because it was very different from every other like encounter in the game. Because it's, 10 times the size of a fucking grunt and has a lot more different moves. And I will say, the other question I got a lot of is like, do you need to have played Gears to understand this game or to get what's happening in this game? This takes place, I think it's either 15 or 5. Regardless, it takes place before the events of Gears 1. And
Cool.
it explains kind of why the world is the way it is and doesn't necessarily assume, oh, it's 12. Okay, I was completely off. It's before, I should have just said like a blanket statement. It's before Gears 1. But it doesn't assume that you know everything about the game. And like when a new unit comes in, it does one of those like new unit, front and center, title card with like 2 bullet points about what that unit can do. And those units are those bullet points are very much exactly like if you're playing the FPS version of Gears. These guys right here are called Grenadiers. If you get in range of them or you go to like chainsaw them, they will immediately counterattack you and most likely just down you outright. But if you shoot them, you cause them to go berserk and they lose that counterattack status. So you want to shoot them, and then much like I'm doing here with Coltrane, you want to run at them and fucking impale them on your giant bayonet sword, which is really fucking cool.
Always a win.
Yeah, the entire time you're doing that. If you don't know who Coltrane is in the Gears world, Coltrane is Ronnie Coleman, if you know that internet meme, or I mean, he's a pretty like big video game thing. His story is that he's a former thrashball player, which is essentially football in the Gears world. And he's very excited about everything that he does. And so like when he just went, the sound clip that when he just stabbed that guy is, "You're gonna fucking die, motherfucker." And then he just stabs you. He goes, "Woo!" It's just awesome. It's a lot of fun when you get to play his
like zero chill.
Yeah, he has zero chill, and he just goes, "Woo!" just nonstop and everything. You blow someone's head off, and he goes, "Woo!" And it's awesome. Like, it's just a fun thing when that happens. The other guys are a little bit more reserved, for sure. Yeah, Coltrane is like a staple of the Gears world. He's been in a lot of the Gears. I don't want to say other stuff happened, but yeah, he's really good. I don't know if he is pre-order only or if he just shows up in the game. I hope he's not pre-order only because so far he's been the like really strong unit and also just a lot of fun to play. He's wearing his thrashball gear, so he's literally wearing like football pads with like armor attached to them and fighting with that type of stuff. But yeah, so that's that. There's 3 other characters. There's Gabe Diaz. If you've played the most recent Gears, you should recognize that name. There's another guy named Sid. I think I know who he is in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not necessarily sure. His story hasn't been revealed yet. And then there's a couple other side characters. There's snipers, there's combat medics, there's heavy people that have giant turrets, there's scouts that can kind of go invisible and get in and out of Overwatch. That right there is a heavy guy. Um, yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. The other thing I will say is that in the upgrade path, you get a lot of abilities. This is how far on the bottom? This is about halfway through yesterday. Some of the characters all open up, and like the bar at the bottom will be like 7 abilities deep, and each one of those abilities is like unique in the sense of what it does. And I'm
Cool.
probably a little bit over a fourth of the way through some of their upgrade trees. I like that he stabs him in the gut, by the way, and then cuts his head off just to make sure that he's dead there. Uh,
You got to make sure, man.
yeah, you got to be sure. You got to be sure. Mission types are very varied. Very varied. That's probably the wrong way of saying that. This one in particular, every round, that giant red strip below you is like causing a artillery to drop in that area. So you have to just fucking book it and just constantly move. And there's guys being thrown in front of you the entire time. There's one of the unfortunate things is they call the like equipment things that you can pick up in the maps to get into the customization of everything, weapons and gear wise. They call them loot drops or loot crates, I think specifically. And that's a little unfortunate because the first thing that, of course, happens when you're streaming the game is like, wait a minute, you can buy loot crates in it? No, you can't. There's no buying of loot crates. You can't pay to win in this at all. But they do have different rarities to them. There's like uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. And those things like an epic or legendary equipment drop is really strong. I got an epic one yesterday that goes on a normal Lancer and it gives plus 100% crit damage, which is like crazy strong. When the base crit damage for reference is 100. So you effectively double your crit damage. And it's important because there's things in the Gears world, there's an enemy called the Boomer. And the Boomer is effectively a giant rocket launcher guy. And every time he goes to fire the gun, he goes boom, and that's it, and then fires the rocket launcher thing. But when you see him, it's very straightforward. The Gears, there's no nuance in the Gears world. In this game, he's got 2,400 HP. For reference, your guys have about 500. If he hits you with one of these things, it is a massive amount of damage, and it's also AoE damage. So it is in your interest to kill that guy as soon as possible. He does not take cover. He's usually just out in the open. So you kind of want to just throw everything you have at him as soon as you see him. The cool thing is when you kill the Boomer, he drops his boom shot. So then you can go get his rocket launcher and put it on any hero and use it for 2 rounds and fire 2 shots from it. And so the game's very much like playing Gears, because that's exactly what you would do in like the campaign of Gears. You would kill the Boomer and get their gun. Then you'd have 4 or 5 shots to just like blow up whoever the fuck you want. So that's where I think I'm having the most fun with it, is that I've played all the Gears games from an FPS perspective. And the fact that who knew that a cover shooter would translate so well into a tactics game where you're taking cover and shooting a lot. It makes a lot of sense. What else is in here? This character is a sniper. Snipers are unbelievably strong in this game. They have a ton of different mechanics where if you are on like the last bullet, you'll get 25% more damage. If you're on the first bullet, you'll get 50% more damage. They have an ability where if you kill a unit with the ability, it will automatically reload your gun. And so just a lot of like smart stuff, and not necessarily new stuff to kind of the tactics world, but just stuff that feels good. Like it is when you do things and you do things successfully in this game and you're just like popping mobs' heads off, or you have like a last second mission to where you're on the last turn before you can get like your bonus objective, and you end up pulling it out, like that feels really cool and really good. This mission in particular happened because I'm an idiot and I tried to get all these like blue cases. I get into a very sticky situation here where some of the characters start taking damage from the artillery because I wanted to get this chest. And so like the next 4 or 5 rounds, I'm like this far ahead of where the artillery is supposed to drop, on the edge of my seat wondering like, am I going to fucking die here, or is this actually going to work out? And luckily it worked out. I got very lucky in these games, RNG wise. I think actually on the final round, a character was going to die. He had a 50% chance to get an extra action at the start of the round, and he got it. And that was the entire reason why I won. Because I put myself in such bad positions to begin with in the first place. So I needed that, which felt really cool. And the other thing, mission variety is cool. There's a handful of missions like this. There's missions where you have like 2 supply points, and you have to basically hold those 2 supply points. In the top center, there's like a goalpost essentially, where you have to have so many supply points before you win the mission. There's stuff where it's like, all right, you got to go and grab these survivors, and you start out with a single guy, and so it's like a solo mission. You go in with one character, and as the mission progresses, you'll get more, and that feels really cool because your character feels really strong going up against like 4 or 5 different grunts and doing well and effectively winning. A handful of other missions, like I said, in terms of mission type stuff. I've seen a couple repeats here and there, but it keeps it fresh enough to where you're not doing the same thing constantly over and over. So that feels cool. This is on Expert. There's one step above this called Invincible, I think. I have not played it. From the people that have, they said it's unbelievably brutal, like one-shot deaths from most mobs in this game. I can take like a shot or 2 on the current difficulty that I'm playing here. Which I think is Expert, like I said, and enjoying that. The down stuff is kind of weird in this game. So when you go down, anyone can res, just like in Gears. Like if you take enough damage in the Gears FPS, you go down and someone has to come over and res you. And over time, your character will bleed out. You can also get grenades that will kind of like res when you throw the stim grenade or whatever on your units. So you have a little bit of AoE range, distant res with some of your support characters. And that comes into play a lot. Like you will have people go down a lot in this game just because of things that happen. But the nice thing is that anyone can res and it's somewhat safe to do so. In terms of fail, if one of the main character dies, so the way that Zeke, you were talking about like customization in terms of characters, there's 2 types of soldiers. There's hero soldiers in this game, and there's normal soldiers. You can customize everything about a normal soldier, from first and last name to nickname to like hairstyle to colors and all that stuff. Heroes, you can only customize colors. If a hero dies in a mission, the mission ends right there. Like it's game over. Okay. You have to start the level over, or if you're playing on Iron Man, the game ends essentially. I'm playing Honest Man, and I've only died in boss fights because there's mechanics that you have to understand. And if you don't understand those mechanics, it's very fucking hard. So I didn't reset when I died 4 or 5 times to those boss mechanics. It was pretty difficult because you're fighting the boss and then like other stuff happens in the map. And yeah, it gets pretty crazy.
Do you feel like you have to like protect the hero characters, or
no, they're fucking badass.
They're super tough.
Okay. Yeah, there's I mean, everyone's the same. Like every character has the same access to the same upgrade path that the heroes do. It's just the heroes are heroes and the other guys are normal guys. Like if a normal guys die, they die. And really where that comes into play is the way that the mission structure is there's like main mission stuff, but every once in a while you'll get to like the next tier. Like it's linear, but it's not linear. In the sense you finish a main mission and the next thing is like, here are 3 side missions. You have to complete 2 of these, but you can choose whichever 2 you want. And on these side missions, there's different things that are going to affect the map. The one that I did last night that was pretty difficult was enemies that have the hammer shot, which is kind of a standard grunt weapon, deal 200% more damage with that weapon. And you can also only take this hero and this hero on this map and whoever else you want. But whoever you take on that map can't go on the other side mission. So you kind of have to be smart about like not putting your entire A team into one map because you have to do a second map after that. And so I can see where that could frustrate some people, especially if you're super into like one specific character, then you can't use them the next map. But it does kind of create, diversity in terms of gameplay and stuff like that. And you're not always playing with the A squad essentially. So it's a lot of fun in that regard. You do a lot of this like you do in XCOM in any game, where you're just staring at the screen like, all right, let's look at everything for like 20 minutes.
Yep.
What am I gonna do? I think if I do
A lot
that,
of finger chewing.
that's got a 90% with a 65% crit. If we crit there, that guy dies. He'll down and go into the down state. Then this other guy can go and execute him. And if he executes him, then everyone in the map gets an extra move. That's actually what happened exactly right here. I got the crit shot with the sniper and moved in and got the execution on Coltrane, so then everyone else could move and the sniper could get the fuck out of where he was at in the red zone. So if you're into that type of thinking and have played other XCOMs, it's very much there. I think that's kind of everything. The other big thing, it's a full-fledged game. It's $70 unless you got Game Pass, so then it's available on Game Pass, which, you know, I think the discussion there is a lot of people think that they just put it at $70 so that you get Game Pass, but it's like, it's kind of a silly argument because Game Pass is not a bad deal. They're not like, they're not scumming you in out of $5 there. They're saving 60.
It's also an iconic franchise, so people will pay $70. Like,
yeah, well, it's $70 only on Steam, but it's $5 on Game Pass, which is the issue that, you know, if people don't want to use the Windows Store, the other option is full priced. So that I can see both sides of that, but at the end of the day, like, it's $5 on game, and it seems to run fine on the Windows Store. But obviously, there are a lot of issues with the game or the Windows Store, and that's a whole nother topic. But yeah. Oh, it's not 70. Okay, it's $60 US, 70 euros. Sorry, I got the price tag wrong. So that's probably the other biggest issue is that it's a little bit, you know, not weird, fortuitous for XCOM that they came out with a $10 competitor to this right around the time that Gears has been very vocal and very public about the fact that they were releasing a full-fledged game, and then, you know, XCOM put out a game or announced the game 2 weeks prior and put it out a week later or 2 weeks later. But that's pretty common for them. So,
well, dude, like there have been a few, like even more like turn-based tactical games that have come out. Like I played one on Indie Sunday. There was another one that didn't get voted for.
Yeah.
Like there's been a few that's come out like right now that
Really?
are like very XCOM-ish. Yes.
Did Icarus, was that one of them or no? That was the Darkest Dungeon type game, right? Was Icarus?
Oh, Eratus. Lord of the Dead or whatever. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Chat saying Fort Triumph and a few other ones. So
there's Fort Triumph, Troubleshooter, Alder's Blood. Like there's been a few.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, Fort Triumph. Yeah, that's the one that has like the home stuff, right? The Heroes of Might and Magic stuff. Is that one? Am I thinking of the right one? Maybe not.
Maybe.
I'm trying to get
some of the downsides of the game, at least for my interest. I'll try to show them here. The menus are. First off, this game is not available on consoles yet. Let me start off with that. I think they've kind of like hinted at it. I don't think they fully said that it's coming to consoles. The menus scream that they were made for a console version of the game and are such very much like there's too many. And the information that you want displayed is not necessarily super present. You kind of have to go into another menu, into another menu, into another menu to get all that stuff. And I think the amount of time that I spend between missions, like equipping and unequipping gear, is way too fucking long. Like all those things right there are different subsets of gear. Like you have your weapon, you have your pistol, you have the armor type in terms of like paint. You have the armor, you have legs, and you have gloves, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I see that, and it looks kind of badass. Like
it looks cool.
I love all that gear.
You spend a ton of fucking time in that menu. Like it's a lot of fun to do the first time, but when you're excited to jump into a mission and you have to spend like 10 plus minutes taking gear off of another guy because he can't go on that mission, and then unequipping on another guy and all that type of shit. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff.
There's a lot of gear swapping, not necessarily just equipping.
Yeah. It's a very pretty game for like a tactic style game. These are cutscenes. They're all voiced. The story is, you know, it's Gears, so it's not necessarily the most riveting edge of your seat type story, but it's cool enough to where you pay attention to the stuff and it looks good. Character models look great. Hair looks a little bit weird, especially on the main character. He has like this weird white patch right here. It's just it looks like a spray on like white thing that you see at Hot Topic.
We call that a style streak.
Yeah, it looks a little bit odd for sure.
Now, I might be dating myself, but you talking about all the like the gear options and shit, it just got a flash of the old Centurions toys. They had little holes in them, and you could put like
Oh yeah,
little like gear and like guns and shit, like all kinds. Like you just interchange them.
Yeah.
That's what the fucking Gears guys look like.
it's true. It's true. The Gears guys are like, if you haven't played Gears before, imagine like the most roided out tree husk of an individual, and that's effectively what Gears characters are. They are just like, but they're also really strong. Some of the executions, like they'll punch a grunt on the ground, flip the grunt over, and just start punching the thing's face, and then eventually his head explodes. So like, it makes sense.
As they do.
It makes sense in universe, and it really makes you question like, how hard would you have to punch someone's head to have it just explode violently in front of you? Here's a little bit of the character introduction right there, so you can kind of see how they do that type of stuff. I just got to this mission last night. They have the effect. Excuse me. They have banelings in the game, and they're a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm gonna get a drink here. I think Cohh's infecting me. Stop it! Don't cough.
This is, I mean, this does not look like 6 feet.
No, I need to get. Let's just put them.
Can I just talk about how much that fucking sucks for someone who, I think I might be the person that I know who most often, I swear to God, there's something wrong with my throat or something like that. I choke on just drinking liquids more than anybody I fucking know. Like, I swear to God, like every time I take a drink, there's this little reservoir in the back of my throat that if I laugh or if I breathe in too hard, like after I've taken a drink, just one little droplet of fucking liquid will hit my uvula or something.
Yeah.
And I'll just have one of those like emergency body shutdown coughing fits. And it just fucking sucks that it, like, people are they're noticing it now because of this fucking epidemic and shit. So every time I'm just like, it's not what you think. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, I told you, coughing is going to be like the scarlet letter in the future. Someone's going to cough in public, and people are going to like draw their guns. If you're in the South, be like, stop it! Stop fucking coughing! You got to be careful. You got to be careful. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's Gears. Runs fine. I was getting like 80, 90 plus FPS with everything on max graphics setting. Very detailed graphics, and they also have the type of thing when you're like, they have the cool options menu where every option that they have there's a screenshot next to it, and it's like, here's what this actually fucking does in terms of how it's going to change and how it's going to look. And that stuff is pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know. That's Gears. It's good. It's not a bad XCOM game, which is a weird way of talking about that. But I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm gonna probably. I don't think I can finish it today. I think gameplay wise, in terms of length, I'm on Act 2, Mission 5 or Mission 6 or Part 6, I should say. And I'm probably about 10 to 11 hours in. So I think it's around like a 15 to 20 hour game for first playthrough. I don't know if there is like, for replayability purposes, I don't know how deep that is. I'll know when I obviously finish the game up. But yeah, I'm eager to play more for sure. It's been a lot of fun. So
the question, you know what question is going to be?
Yeah, I got to ask about it a lot.
Answer the question.
Do I think this or XCOM Chimera Squad? For my interest, I'm enjoying this because I've already played XCOM 3 times or 4 times, I guess. And this one is in a setting and it's got different enough mechanics that it's like it's fresh. It's something I haven't played already.
Okay.
That said, none of that discredits what XCOM is, and you know the game of XCOM is not bad. It's just I've played, I don't know, 50 to 100 hours of that already, and I've played 0 hours of this, so I'm interested in this at the moment. Um, I also really
I do
think,
like how brutal this is.
yeah,
Like, in
that's exactly
comparison
what I
to
was about to say. I love how brutal this game is. When he throw a nade on a fucking grunt, they explode into chunks and they celebrate the shit out of that. Like it's really cool to see that type of stuff. Or when you walk up and like chainsaw a guy, just like you do in Gears, the chains like they don't shy away. They show the chainsaw going on his shoulder, cutting him apart, and then when he's done, he's just giblets in front of you. Like it's cool. It's professional. Yeah.
You had me at I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker.
Dude, he is so fucking good. He's so cool when he does. Like when he runs at someone with a bayonet, getting ready to shove it into the thing's stomach to cut off his head, and he goes, "I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker." You're like, "That you fucking are. You're gonna do it right now." Like that is a really cool thing. I really like that. But yeah, it's fun. I will also say grenades in this game are stupidly strong. But the big downside is sometimes in mission, one of the encounters that you run into, and if you've played Gears game, you know exactly what these are. They're called emergence holes or e-holes, as they call them in game lovingly. It's a thing that spawns, and it's effectively, it's a way that locusts get into the map. And the way that you close an e-hole is by throwing a nade into it. If you don't have any nades, that e-hole spawns constant mobs the next 3 rounds. So it's a really bad situation if you let that happen. You can get overwhelmed very, very quickly. So that's the one piece of advice I will say. Don't get crazy with your grenades because they one-shot mobs. Like, there's other ways to kill mobs. Save your grenades as best as possible, or at least save a grenade for those e-holes, because I've been in some bad situations without that type
By
of
the
stuff.
way, also talking about kind of the XCOM and Gears rivalry with Chimera. First, they released
Yeah.
Chimera, which is a standalone right before Tactics. They dropped the price by 50% before it even, like day one, 50% off.
Yeah.
XCOM 2 is now free to play on Steam for the weekend, or at least it was. And XCOM 2 and XCOM 1 seem to be 75% off on Steam now too. So
Nice.
it's like, welp.
Yeah, I mean,
There you
I
go.
get it. Like, there's a reason that we refer to these games as the XCOM style games, right? Like, they popularized this whole thing, so they want to. Anytime that is encroached upon, why not put that shit on sale? People are gonna be talking about it nonstop, and you get free publicity. So why not goad them even more so to spending money and trying the game out, right? I get it. I understand it. It's how the business goes for sure. But I will say, if you can, Game Pass is $5, and you also get 7,000 other games. That's not a real number, but you get a crazy amount of stuff if you're at all interested in trying this out.
And you only have to use the worst deployment platform of them all to use it.
It's true. It's true. Has it gotten any better? Like, full disclosure, I'm using the Steam version of this. They actually said, "Do you want the Windows version or the Steam version?" Microsoft gave me a code. I said, "I'll take the Steam, please." They said, "Sure. Here you go." I don't know if it's gotten better. I used it actually 2 weeks ago for Minecraft RTX, and it worked fine. I pressed a button and it downloaded it, and I was able to play the game. That wasn't on the launch of the thing. I think the story was quite differently when that initially launched. There's so many people doing it that it was completely overloaded. So I'm not really sure. I don't think it's perfect, but it's gotten better, I think. It's a good thing too, because this game's only available on PC, so they need to try to win over as many PC people as. Also, fuck, I can't believe I missed that. I'm still pissed about that sniper. When you shoot these guys, they get an extra move, even if it's your move. So the fact that I just missed and he blew up on top of me, it really grinds my gears. If you know what I'm saying, it really pisses me off. Yeah, that's Gears Tactics. Oh, man, I'm getting destroyed right now.
Do you know how much content there is, like hours wise?
I think it's
like
around
average?
15 to 20 through one playthrough.
Okay.
I think I'll probably beat it tomorrow. I think halfway through or close to Act 3, and I think it's only 3 acts. So
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. I hope it's longer.
Well, I was gonna say that is drastically lower than any XCOM game.
Yeah, XCOM. Well, I think like I got to the final mission in a Chimera Squad mission or Chimera Squad branch, one of 3 in 8 hours.
I'm saying like the full price. Like
Yeah. XCOM 2 is like a
1 or 2
30-hour game. You think 40-hour? How long did it take for that? It's a long time. I know that. Yeah. So we'll see. What else? What are we gonna talk? Kel, you play anything else? You've been sick, so I know how's Fallout 76
Not really,
going?
man.
How's the 76 life?
It's going well. Just working through it. Been enjoying my time. Did like a little base building today, and just kind of been taking it slow, not rushing the Wastelander stuff, and still really enjoying it, man. Having a good time with it.
They have they changed anything since last week, or is it just more 76?
No, not really. They fixed one of the big bugs where NPCs can steal weapons, but there's still a lot of other big bugs in it that are still there. And yeah, I mean, I've been so, as people can see today, I've just been so low energy recently with lack of sleep and getting over this whatever it is and all that stuff that it's been a good game to just jump in and chill in.
Yeah.
I do as much talking as I do playing and just kind of relax and bum around.
Makes sense. Zeke, what about you? I know you did it Indie Sunday. Any other full
Resident Evil 3.
Oh, you finished that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the end of that game for you? I don't want to show footage of it for spoiler purposes, but
sure. I probably have the same I don't know, I guess they'd be complaints like that. I personally extended the content of that game into 2 broadcasts. I think I played it for a total of 12 hours? But
yeah.
that's my time. So that's what 5 like 5-6 hours somebody normal time. Because I fuck around and do all that shit. It for a full price game, it's still like that's too much. It's too much for how much was in it. Also bearing in mind that there's not if I'm not mistaken, there's not 2 runs like the previous game. Like you do one character's run, then another character's run, right?
Yeah, what you see it like you played everything in the game essentially, except for the harder difficulties that unlock after a completion like that. That and the multiplayer aspect, I think, is what the company says is why it's $60. But I agree with you fully. Like it's a lot for what's in there.
I will say that if I could go back and play it again, not knowing anything, I would have told myself to do keyboard mouse because it really makes a difference in this game as far as aiming and stuff.
Oh.
I didn't think there were certain sections that I put my controller down and I was like, I'm going to try this with keyboard and mouse. Something I had died to 2 or 3, 4 times. Pick up keyboard mouse. I just was breeze fucking through it. It's like fucking easy mode compared to controller.
Yeah.
Certain difficult sections where aiming is, fairly important. But if I would have had it to do over, I would have played it all the way with keyboard and mouse just because it would have made it a lot less just wasting ammunition doing shit. The other thing that I would have told myself is learn how to do the perfect dodge mechanic or the perfect roll or a perfect shoulder check mechanic.
Yeah.
Learn that early. I learned that in the last couple of chapters in the game, and I was like, what the fuck? Why haven't I been doing this the whole time? I didn't know that there was if you get a perfect dodge and you aim as you're setting up, it goes slow-mo and it auto locks onto the weak point of the enemy you're fucking fighting.
Yeah.
No idea.
Strong.
I had no idea. And it made it super, like, way easier. As the, like, at the end of the game. And I was like, man, the whole game would have been much easier if I had known that at the beginning. So there's your free Nintendo Power tip there, guys. Make sure you, like, it'll be a lot more fun if you get the perfect dodge down early.
Yeah.
The game itself, I mean, it was pretty good. It could have, like, if it was doubly as long as it was, it might have been worth the full price tag. But as it was, I'd wait for it to go on sale, I would say. That would be my advice. Also, we said this before, but I was disappointed with Nemesis, man.
Yeah,
it was cool.
We did do a disservice by hyping it up.
And not this mysterious, like, thing that Mr. X was. But
yeah,
it was still a fun experience. I just don't, I just wish there was more of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cool.
I mean, short game, short review.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Cohh both talked about it under like 5 or 10 minutes. Like, there's not much you can really say about it, except it is what it is. And the experience wasn't bad. It was just short. So I think that's the type of game, if Capcom ever puts it on sale, like, that's when I think it makes sense to grab that. If it goes like half off or something, like, I mean, half off even at $30. You think you recommend it at 30? I think that's still kind of a hard recommendation. Just for a one playthrough, a one and done experience, might be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Indie Sunday, Zeke. You played Cloudpunk. We talked about that. You also played, good. Very family friendly game. Drug simulator, drug dealer simulator. How's this?
Yeah, played a little drug dealer simulator. Actually, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. I had fun playing it. They don't throw too much at you at once. When I watched the preview, I was like, or I saw, of course, the title, Drug Dealer Simulator. I was like, oh, this is gonna be lame. And then I looked at the trailer and I went, is this a fucking management game? Is it just going to be moving, like sitting on one screen and moving shit around? No, it's not. What I really liked about it was that you do a lot of first person running around the environment and actually doing stuff. You run around, the first thing you do is set up, you have a drug contact that is your supplier. You talk to your supplier, you exchange like email information, and then when you need more drugs, you contact that guy and he has a drop for you. You go get the drugs from the drop, you go back to your he sets you up with like 3 clients. And then you the tedious part of the game is when you go back to your apartment, you have to separate it out. It's so like it needs to be simplified. It's ridiculous how there's like on the drug table that you have in your apartment, there's like 3 different modes. There's placing mode, there's mixing mode, and then there's this, it definitely could be streamlined. Because what you have to do is you take your baggie of 10 grams of weed, you put it on the table, and then next to that 10 grams of weed, you take a jar that would hold 10 grams of weed with a jar next to it. You take the weed from the baggie, you put it in the jar. You can label the jar. You can color the jar's label if you want. And then out of the jar, then you separate it into 2-gram bags. They could cut out a couple of steps there. They could just have you don't even need a table for this. Just within the menu screen, just have me right click on the baggie of 10 grams of weed and say, would you like to split this? Yes, I would. Thank you. It just seems like it's overly complex for something that's, relatively simple. Once you get over that, though, once you okay, now every time I do this, okay, blah, blah, blah. But, you get faster at it and you figure out how to do it. So you get these, everybody who wants drugs from you. So you start with 2 drugs, amphetamines, just amphetamines, just generic amphetamines. not methamphetamine, just amphetamines,
Sure.
which is great. And marijuana spelled with an H, which I love. There's some definite fucking translations misspellings in this game. And they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I like it. But you get these emails. So you go to the other thing is that was really fucking annoying about it. And I don't know if I'm stupid or was doing it wrong, but you'll get a message on your phone and you'll see who the message is from. It'll say like message from, Shitty Bill. You're like, oh, Shitty Bill wants some drugs. And you look in your phone, it's not there. You have to go back to your fucking computer to get the messages. You have to go all the way back to your fucking house to get the message. Okay. It'll just say on your phone that you have a message. So you go, you look at like, there's your clients right there. We've got Al Mamarico or whatever, Amy Asuelo. So I can't read it.
It's so funny how close to Discord that looks.
Yeah, it's a very Discordish kind of look. But you get their messages, say like 2 grams of weed. I'll meet you right now. You go out of your house. Best idea, obviously, is to tell each and every one of them, like, you want 2 grams of meth or 2 grams of amphetamine. You want 4 grams of weed and you want 2 grams of weed. So you separate them all out, take them outside, deliver them to the people. Now, how do you get more clientele? Well, there will be people walking around with question marks over their head, just random people walking around with question marks. You talk to them, you give them a gram of weed on the house or a gram of amphetamine on the house. They're like, hey, here you go. And thankfully, the people who actually want it signal you by having a question mark over their head. The people that don't want it don't have that. So you know who wants drugs just by looking at them, which is nice. So you get more clientele. That's how you get more clientele. How you expand your empire is you get respect. Every drug deal gets you respect. Every time you pay back your Eddie, who is your contact, every time you pay back the loan that you took from him, you get respect. You can spray paint, tag your neighborhood, and then once your respect reaches a certain level, you can unlock, the east end of town or the west side or stuff like that, and you expand. The cool part, there's some really cool parts about the game, fun parts. The dialogue is really funny. A lot of it's voice acted. It does get kind of get your blood pressure up if you're out at night. It's called police time. I'm not sure, but nighttime is, you don't want to deal drugs at night because the cops are out in full force and they're looking for you. I got depending on what you have on you, if you have a backpack, your suspicion level is higher than if you don't have a backpack. But in order to carry shit, sometimes you need a backpack. So you don't want to you want to judge how suspicious do I want to be? Also, if you're running, suspicious. So you kind of want to walk by, if there's cops around, you kind of want to walk by cops, make sure they don't notice you. One time I was running with a backpack at night. Cop saw me. He's like, stop right there. And you're running and there's fucking sirens going and you're there's vaulting in the game. So you're vaulting over fences and shit, trying to get away. He eventually tased me, which I didn't know because it's first person. So I'm just running away. I'm not looking back. And suddenly it's just electricity all around your views. You're just like, fuck. But thankfully I only had 1 or 2 grams of weed on me because I'd already done my deals. So I only had the leftovers just in case I saw a new customer out there. So I think they let me off with a warning or something because I didn't do any jail time or anything. Or they searched me and didn't find it or something, but there didn't seem to be any consequences. But I'm guessing there's worse consequences for the shit you have on you. In fact, the game tells you there will be. But it's I don't know if anybody out there, has ever requested drugs before, but there's some definite similarities that you can see.
I was about to say we know what it's like from a personal experience. How's the game, Zeke?
Game's great. Oh shit, was I supposed to be talking about a game this whole time?
Yeah, we didn't.
My bad.
Yeah, it's Drug Dealer Simulator.
Hey Google, remind me to get spray paint.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty cute, fun game. I mean, it's not overly. obviously the graphics aren't like top notch or anything.
It reminds me of PUBG for some reason. Like, is this on the PUBG engine or something?
I totally get that for
like
sure.
This whole menu, the way that it like just
Hey, those devs got to make their money somehow these days.
Yeah.
Oh, is PUBG UE4? Okay, that's probably why. I mean, it's probably they. Let's not talk about it.
A couple of things I wanted to mention. Well, let me just do this real quick. Drug Dealer Simulator. Have you ever thought about expanding your own crime empire without the legal and moral consequences? Simulate it. Now you will finally be able to crawl into the dark alleys of the drug dealing business, become a street business mastermind or a ruthless gangster. It's up to you. It came out April 16th of this year, developed by Byte Runners Game Studio, published by Movie Games and Playway SA. It is $19.99, so $20 on Steam. However, I love it when they do this. You can download a free demo if you want to try it out.
Ah, okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Demos for the win.
If you want to check it out, free demo on Steam, $20 if you want to buy it.
Sweet. Hey, I think we were talking about this earlier. Troubleshooter. Is this the what is? Oh, I saw you playing this game and I was so fucking confused. Talk to me about Troubleshooter, Zeke.
I don't have much to say about it because it's an anime game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
goes ahead immediately perked up.
There's a lot of inane talking, story stuff, and I'm not like I don't like mixing my genres a lot of times, and this is like anime with XCOM tactical blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to this game, and it's one of those games that suffers on an indie day because I can only devote like 1 to 2 hours per game because I'm constantly like I want to show off, as many games as I can.
Yeah.
This is another one of those games that kind of throws a shitload at you at once. Every single ability has a paragraph of information. It'll do like this when you hit them with your stick. It's not just like 3 damage. It'll slow their movement by 10%. If they're on fire, it will put them out 20% of the time. If they're frozen, if this will do this, and it's just like a whole bunch of shit. It's like throwing someone into like high level Magic the Gathering without telling them like what a creature spell is. It's like it's just like a lot of stuff. And it suffers like when I play games like that because I can't really dig into them. I have heard from multiple sources that it's a very good game when you get into it. I just can't speak educatedly about it because I found myself like skipping a lot of the story to try and get to the action, and I wasn't in the right headspace to tackle a game like this because of the complexities of it. I will say the combat was fun. I don't know why it's so complex because once you actually do the action, it's like I'm gonna do this action. There's a lot of description here, but it's like 3 damage, and you're like, oh great, okay, cool. Like I know, I understand that.
Yeah.
What's that? I mean, it's not like 3 damage. There's HPs are in the hundreds and stuff, but it's basically the same thing. So this will do like 150 damage, and the enemy has like 120 hit points left, something like that. But let me do my due diligence here.
Sure.
Troubleshooter Abandoned Children is the first episode of a turn-based strategy SRPG that takes place in the world of Troubleshooter. So there's a whole bunch of lore that I am absolutely not privy to. I have no idea like anything that's come before this Troubleshooter wise. I don't know the universe at all. It is developed and published by Dandelion, and it's Dandy Lion. It is $19.99 right now on sale. Normally $24.99. And I wish I had more, like, I could give you a better idea of what it is, but there's definitely like anime elements to it where one of the sections that I kind of sped through was you on the phone with your aunt talking about getting into the Troubleshooters gang, and I could not care less at all about what they had to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it voice acted at least?
No, I provided. Well, some of it is very little though. I provided most of the voices myself. Like none of this is.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh shit!
What?
Some of it is voiced, but it's in Korean. That's right. It's a Korean game. Forgot to tell you that.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a Korean indie game, or did like NCSoft publish this? Or like...
Well, it's published and developed by Dandelion.
Oh,
and
okay. Indie does.
let's see. This is their only game on Steam. I'm not sure like what other shit they've done.
Cool. Oh yeah, we didn't really show too much of the combat. This does look pretty complex. I was talking about being overwhelmed in Gears Tactics. You already have 7 things you can do right here that have a shit ton of abilities. God damn. Okay.
Yeah, it shows that there it is, like everything. Like every single like stat. So if you're a stat, if stats get you hard or wet, like this is great. You'll love it. You'll love it.
All right. There you go. Put that on the back of the box. Or
Yeah.
the front of the Steam review or whatever the fuck.
Drop Frames has said, if you like stats, if they get you hard or wet, this is the game for you.
Jesus. Cool. That was, I think, then you played Cloudpunk, which we already talked about.
Yep.
What time is it? We can do a little bit of news. There has been some stuff that has happened here in the past week. This morning, they started talking about the new Assassin's Creed game.
I think they played a trailer just a little bit ago.
Really? Okay, that's exciting. I might have to watch that.
Like Vikings.
Yeah, that was the leak that happened a while back, and GamingRoute.com is saying that it will be called Valhalla. So it's cool. Let me see. Did they actually chat? Is there actually a trailer? And if so, could you put it in the chat? I would love to watch that right now. I was actually tweeting or talking about last week how I wanted more Assassin's Creed. No trailer just yet. Okay. I think it'll be next week. Yeah, they had Boss Logic, who is he's done a lot of work for a lot of different groups. He's a big artist, and I think he's drawing the key art or something live on air right now at twitch.tv/Ubisoft.
Be right back.
Sure.
Something's making a lot of noise downstairs. I'll be right back.
No problem. Hope it's not the bees that his wife tweeted out earlier. Chad, that would be scary as shit. Did you see that?
Bees?
Oh yeah, he's got like there's a fucking mound in his tree. It's like this big, man. Shit ton of bees. It's on his he might have retweeted it. It's on his wife's Twitter. It's fucking nuts.
Wow. Okay.
I'll show a split second of the stream so they don't take my stream down. That's what's currently being drawn right now on this Ubisoft stream by Boss Logic. It looks fucking sick. Now, a question here. Can you release a Valhalla based or Nordic based game with God of War out there? Like, is that just going to be constantly compared to God of War? What do you think, Zeke?
Sorry, I was looking at the fucking bees. It's there. That is
I told you it was fucking huge. It was fucking huge.
Frightening. I would fucking move. I would leave.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
I'd set that tree on fire.
What was your question?
Do you think you can put out, like, I feel like the entire time I've thought about Assassin's Creed and the fact that it's going to be like Norse mythology, that I'm just going to compare it to God of War the entire time. Do you think you'd do the same?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
I mean, they did it so right. They did it so. It's such a great game. I don't know how like they would have to put a spin on it. Like when you watch a Marvel Universe Thor movie,
yeah,
you don't think about God of War like comparison because they're two total. I mean, not only they're two things, movies and video games, but they deal with the same characters, like, you know, Thor, Loki, blah, blah, blah. They'd have to do something like really different to not be compared to God of War, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the trailer leaked is according to. I'm not going to show that on stream then, unless that's just straight up fake, which chat is saying it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, the other thing, Zeke, is that God of War was an action game, and Assassin's. Can you even say if Assassin's Creed is a stealth game anymore? I don't know if it is.
More action.
I guess it is more action. I mean, it's essentially a Witcher game. At least the most two recent ones are more comparable to Witcher than like old school Assassin's Creed. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's why they've taken so long to put it out there, is because God of War came out, and how do you not talk about like a Viking style or a Norse style game without just constant comparison to God of War, right?
Well, people are saying in chat that they're going to focus less on like the pantheon of like deities and stuff, and more on like actual like mortals, humans, Vikings, and the like.
Like Ragnar or whatever is that? I guess isn't that from Vikings? That show Vikings. I think that's the guy.
Ragnarok?
No, not Ragnarok. There was a king.
The guy.
Yeah, there's a king. Or Ragnar Lothbrok. Yeah, he's got some cool stories. Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like the most recent Assassin's Creed, the DLC, like you went to like Elysium and like Hades and all that shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see more. I've been craving another Assassin's Creed game. I've actually played Odyssey off stream in the past month, just to like run around and do random side quests, and having fun with that. So, I'm totally on board for more Assassin's Creed. Have they said, chat, if it's going to be a launch title for the new consoles, or if it's going to be a like half current generation, half new generation type game, or how they're okay? They're saying no. That would be the biggest the biggest news if that's going to be like a launch title for one of the consoles, the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, or how that's all going to go down. That could be really cool if they do some of the new stuff hardware wise, and how that'll look. I guess we'll see. There'll probably be a trailer for that in the next couple of days / week. We'll see how that goes. What else is there news stuff? I guess we can kind of talk about this for a split second. We talked about it before the show. The reason we'll talk about it is because Last of Us 2 and now Ghost of Tsushima now have new release dates. They pushed back Ghost of Tsushima into July, and now Last of Us 2 is coming out in June. I don't know if this is. I think this was probably planned all along. I don't think it's necessarily a reaction to all of the Last of Us leaks that occurred, but who knows? It's all hearsay at this point. But I'm glad we're getting Last of Us. I'm glad we got a date out there. So that'll be in July. That'll be cool. Where are you guys at on excitement level for Ghost of Tsushima?
I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's one of those things that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Zeke, is it on your radar at all?
What game?
Ghost of Tsushima. Don't laugh at my speech impediment, Zeke. Jeez.
I love it. I love it. Ghost of Tsushima. I'm all right with it. Like I'm about as excited as I was for Sekiro, and then Neo. Like, I'm about as excited as I get for Star Wars. Like, I'll probably play that, but I'll probably enjoy it.
Okay.
But I'm not like champing at the bit like I am for Last of Us. Like Last of Us is like, I had this discussion on my stream the other day. Like, it takes like not very often that I really am excited about a game and I can't wait to play it. Like first time I get my hands on it, like Last of Us is probably the only one that I'm just like, I'm gonna play it first time, like the first hour I can. I don't care if it sucks on my stream or whatever. I'm doing it.
Sure.
But like all those other games, I could wait on for sure.
Gotcha. Makes sense. I think the meta, Zeke, here's how you get all the viewers. You play Ghost of Sashimi while eating sashimi and only sashimi. You know what I'm saying? That's the viewer bait right
I
there.
don't know, man. Sashimi is sushi without rice, right?
I don't know. I don't like sushi.
I think it's just raw fish, right?
Yeah. I like nigiri. I like just fish. I like fish on rice.
Is there
But
seaweed
I
in
don't.
any of that?
I could do sashimi. I suppose I could, but
Okay.
I mean, you're not gonna get full that way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I wish I liked sushi. I hear everyone's like, people that love sushi fucking love sushi. Like they're super into it. I just can't. I've tried so many different types of sushi. I can't.
I like my sushi cooked.
Yeah, is that a tiger roll, like a
I
fried
got
sushi?
there's probably like a type for it, but like every time I've gone out to get sushi, it's like here's like the 50 types of like raw fish we have, and here's like cooked eel on the same rice, and I'm like, oh, that one's delicious. I want more. Can I just get like 10 of those? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I can't.
I was the same way for a long time, but I had no idea the reason why people would take me out for sushi. I'm like, I don't like sushi. And I
Yeah.
have it again. I'm like, I hate it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And someone took me to this other place, and I went, "What? This is fucking delicious. What the fuck?" And then the last course, I realized why I hadn't liked sushi up to that point. Last course had seaweed in it.
Oh, you don't
And
like seaweed?
almost every time I went out for sushi, it was like they would have seaweed somewhere, like a wrap or something like that. And I didn't know that that's what I hated because seaweed stinks, tastes like the ocean. It's awful. I hate it. However, fish on rice was really fucking good, apparently, and I had no idea.
Well, there you go. Makes sense.
There you go.
What else is out there? Final Fantasy 14 news. They're finally coming out and redoing the A Realm Reborn issues that everyone complained about for so long in the next patch that's supposed to hit middle of June / late July. They're like cleaning up and removing it. Zeke, remember all those quests you did after you beat A Realm Reborn before you could jump into Heaven's Ward?
Yeah.
They're fixing a lot of that, if not all of that.
Oh.
They're streamlining a lot of it. They're going in and changing all the quest and yeah. So
Too late.
That's cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Said I'm done with Final Fantasy and I'm done.
Yeah. You're
I'm not going back.
okay.
Like World of Warcraft. I can't go back. I can't go back.
All right. Well, there you go. I don't think there was any more news. I think that might be it. I think we might be good. Is there any news that you guys want to bring up, want to talk about?
What's the next big release?
Last of Us, probably in July.
Nothing in May.
Yeah, May is pretty dry. Let me pull up my itmeJP / game
Awesome.
list. Let's see.
Oh, thank God. That is so good to hear.
Trackmania Nations on May 5th. Man Eater on May 22nd. That's that shark game. Minecraft Dungeons on the 26th. Darkest Dungeons Butcher Circus DLC is supposed to come out in May. I don't know when that's actually releasing though. Yeah, then
there's the Terraria update, right? Is that May?
There is a Terraria update. I don't have that in this list though, but I know that like the final update for Terraria is supposed to hit soon.
That should be
do
cool.
we have is there an actual release date for Horizon Zero Dawn on PC? Do we know? Does anybody know?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Xenoblade Remastered. I'll probably check that out. Xenoblade's
Summer.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summer. All right.
Yeah, I'll probably replay Horizon Zero Dawn when that comes out on PC. I'll probably check that out.
You never played it before that?
No, I did. I never played DLC. I think me and you are the same,
yeah.
where we both never played the DLC and Cohh played the DLC and really loved it and spoke highly of it. So that's definitely something I want.
I can't wait to pick that one up again on PC, man. That's going to be great. I'm definitely going to be playing that.
Yeah. It'll be
love
gorgeous.
that game. I love the story. Love the environments. Very, very new and unique game.
I remember the music in that game being fucking stellar as well. Like I can hear that theme in the background. It's just great. It's great. Yeah. So May's pretty low key month for games.
Back in Pac-Man mouse aiming going to be so good? I didn't even think about that. It is going to be good.
Yeah, when you hit those slow-mo moments, yeah, that'd be good.
Oh yeah,
be great. Be super cool. Oh yeah, Persona 5. That's right. I'm playing that. I've put 46 hours in that game so far. I feel like I've played it for 5 minutes. I have not done that to a game in a very long time where it's just like, oh yeah, Persona 5. I've put like my entire life into that game. And yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it. Super fun.
You said 60 hours?
I'm 46 hours in. Yeah.
Okay.
I just finished up the third palace. But I have not reached the next date when like the palace person, boss, whatever, reveals their true heart or whatever the fuck the thing is.
Oh yeah, so you're in
limbo
relationship time.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you have I hate the term waifu, but do you have like your favorite relationship that you want to cultivate? Do you have a favorite yet? There is a right answer to this.
I've been the maid Kawashimi, whatever her name is. What? Kawarami? Is that it? What? Are you even saying? Kawakami. Sorry, I was cutting you off. Yeah. Kawakami is good. I got the Shito player, the Japanese chess player, whatever her name is. She's kind of fun.
The shogi player, yeah.
Shogi, yeah.
There you go.
Shito. Yeah.
Is there a prostitute in the game that I wasn't aware of? Did they add a prostitute in Royal?
And then I also like it's pretty cool because you get to hang out with the bartender and she's fun.
She's my favorite. I always liked her.
She's voiced. Apparently, she was not voiced in, I guess, the base game, but she is voiced in this one, in Royale, and it sounds actually just like that, Zeke.
No, I think she was. She had a couple of voice lines in the original, and I remember because I made the voice, and then I heard it for the first time. I went, not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty identical to what you just said.
Are you to where you left off before?
Oh, I'm much further. Yeah, I left off at the beginning of the second palace with.
Okay, so you are
with Mercer.
Everything is new to you now.
Everything's new. Yeah, I don't even know the characters, so like I very much don't pay attention when I meet a character and I see chat scrolling on the left-hand side because I don't want to know if that's like a playable character, whatever, anything like that. So I'm pretty reserved in terms of chat interactions when it comes to like that type of stuff. But yeah, it's fun. I still stand by or think, having not played the original Persona 5, I still think they made Persona 5 Royale too easy. Like, I have not struggled whatsoever.
And those changes, just a couple of those changes you mentioned last week would have made it like significantly easier. It sounds like they basically changed the difficulty completely.
I've like day one cleared every palace and had 0 issues with SP. I like in the third palace alone, I think I used 40 to 45 SP items and I finished the dungeon before beating the boss with like still half SP. Like, it wasn't a struggle whatsoever. So it definitely feels
You were
easier.
playing on hard mode, right?
I am, yeah. I'm not playing on whatever the one above hard is. I'm playing on hard specifically.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll be playing a lot more on the. I can still have like another 100 hours to go. So, May's gonna be good because we got a lot of no games to play. So I'll just be playing more Persona.
I just say one quick don't sleep on Takemi, the doctor, hot doctor. Don't sleep on Takemi.
So the thing is the new
That's the right answer.
The new confidants that they put in the game, like, according to chat, the bonus that you get from Takami is not even, it's like shit compared to the other bonuses you get. Every time you talk to this new person, this guidance counselor, every confident level you get +5 SP, And you also get like some absurd, crazy ability that he gives you on each level. And so I've been like focusing on that rather than I think Takemi's like level 2 and the guidance counselor is at like 5 or 6. And they're just insane abilities.
Yeah.
Also, were showtimes in the original game? Do you know what a showtime is?
Showtime.
So showtime, okay, I guess that must be a Royale thing.
Well, it is new. Okay.
Okay, showtimes are these things where you get into a fight and you like someone does a move and you attack, and it goes over to like An and Morgana have a showtime. They're the first one that you unlock, and it's essentially just like a combo move that has like a flashy cutscene, and then it just does like a fuck ton of damage, like 450 damage at my level, and it's just random.
So they took it from P4 and put it in P5 because they that was a P4 Golden had that team up like random chance that like 2 of my characters would do this like, hey, are you ready? I'm ready, and then they do this like dragons.
That's exactly what it is.
And like okay.
Yeah, I just got another one with Makoto and Ryuji. I have not seen it yet, but I got in between the 3rd and 4th palace. Another thing that they've made, I guess, easier, I have all of my stats at 3+, and I have one of them actually very close to 5 already at the 3rd palace. Because you just have so many like side things that don't use up time, like crossword puzzles. You can do crossword puzzles and they give you knowledge. After every confidant meeting that you have, as you're going back home, you get a call, and if you give the right choice to those confidants, you actually get like 2 to 3 extra notes towards them. And there's like game show quizzes to where like you'll go and do a game show quiz on the television, and if you answer that correctly, you'll get a random boost of knowledge. So it seems like they've made the game easier, but like I'm not having a fun time because it's easy, but they took out a lot of like maybe the frustration or the hurdles in it. I don't know how to talk about it really.
It sounds like they made it so you can't fail is what it's done. Because like that was one thing you could really do, especially on hard mode in Persona 5, is you could screw up your game if you didn't do enough of the right things. Like that's what I kept getting warned about when I picked my difficulty at the beginning. Like, does Cohh know that he can mess it up if he doesn't do the right things, if he doesn't get this guy maxed by this time or this by this time? So what it sounds like is they made it so you can play hard mode and not have to min-max at all. You can just do whatever you want on hard mode and still kind of get all the content unlocked.
Cool.
Which I mean isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's
different.
Easier, but at the same time, it means that you really like hearing all this makes me realize that when I go back and play, it's going to be super low stress. Like I'm not going to have to revisit any of this stuff.
It's very low stress.
Play the game however I want. It sounds like I'll be just fine. So
I will say that even though like the fights have been easy, if I go into that fight and I let the enemy attack and I don't like hit a weak point, I'll fucking die. Like I will straight up just get decimated there. Like if they get one weakness on your party, it's over. You just get destroyed. So you do have to play smart. Yeah. You do have to play smart. Like it was, I remember last week I was in the 3rd palace and Aaron texted me and I had just come out of a loading screen on a doorway into like an enemy, and I answered the text and I got attacked, and it's fine, whatever, it's fine. And they ambushed me. It was on like fast autoplay or whatever. And I think in 20 seconds I was dead and I lost 40 minutes of gameplay. And I'm just sitting there staring at my phone like, fuck.
Did you tell you like I'm trying really hard not to blame this on you right
now? Yeah. So yeah. I'm still enjoying it though. It is is an easy game to stream and just lose hours on. Like I just play the game. I'll just play and 6 hours will pass. Like, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out. That was an easy day.
For sure, man.
And that's been fun for sure. So it seems like I got another 100+ hours of that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a favorite teammate?
Teammate right now, Makoto is really fucking cool I really like her persona.
That is an acceptable answer.
Yeah, her persona is really cool. The bike, I like her like base outfit.
Makoto.
Yeah, she's cool. I don't know how many outfits you guys have, but I guess because of all the DLC and I don't know everything that's come out, like I think I have like 16 outfits that I can put on every character. Like each character has 16 unique outfits that all have defined artwork. You can put on like Persona 5 gear, and then it plays the Persona 5. Or sorry, you can put on Persona 4 gear on a Persona 5 character, and it plays the Persona 4 fight music. You can do that with Persona 3. You can do that with Persona 2. You can do that with Persona 1. You can do that with SMT Samurai bullshit. You can do that with Catherine, which is another Outlast game. Like, you can do that with Christmas music. Like, there's a shit ton of different outfits. You can do that with the dancing game that they put out, where everyone's in like this weird raver gear.
The Dancing All Night or whatever.
Yeah, Dancing All Night. So, yeah, I'm just wearing the base outfits right now, but in a couple dungeons, I might swap over to maybe a couple of the maid costumes, just to switch it up a little bit,
Yeah, now.
You know how it goes.
You can be thirsty, JP. It's all right. It comes with the anime territory.
No, I really want to see Ryuji in the maid outfit. It looks great.
All right. Final question.
For real.
It's important.
Okay.
Yusuke.
Oh, fuck.
Terrible character or the worst character ever?
There it is. There it is.
I don't refer to him as Yusuke. I refer to him as Mercer.
Of course. Yeah.
Like anytime he talks, I'm just like, God, fucking Mercer, man. Stop chewing the lines here. It's not supposed to be chewing.
Yeah. Woo! Now you understand where my fake rivalry with him came from.
He's dramatic, man. Yusuke is very dramatic. Like, he's like, oh, I can't live. I don't have the money. Can I stay with you? And you're like, dude, you really got to give up this starving artist bullshit. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I want to give him the Tyler Durden, like, are you going to ask me?
Yeah.
Ask me what? If you can stay at my place. Oh, I wasn't. Just ask me. Just say it.
Yeah.
Fucking say it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm on board. I am using he is in my main party. I will be. I use Yosuke, Mercer, and Makoto and main character.
Good choices.
He's he has some very strong physical attacks. Especially if you like combo with the baton pass shit, he can hit for like 400 to 500 on some mobs. It's crazy.
That is definitely something I missed in Persona 4 was the baton pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes it just the fucking easy peasy.
Yeah. He's good. Chat is spamming us is the last thing that the trailer has been announced for AC Valhalla, and it will drop tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific /5 p.m. CEST.
Wait, what was the whole Ubisoft stream then?
Leading up to that announcement, I guess. I don't know. It's also for that art. Like that. I don't know if you saw the stream at all, Co, but Boss Logic, like I said, is a pretty big deal in the world of art, and like it was the actual drawing of that stuff from nothing. But yeah, they definitely led up to nothing there except for announcement. So, but the art was pretty cool. But I'm with you on that. I agree. Let's do some shout outs and we'll call it a show. I got food sitting at the front door and it's getting cold right now because they left it out there. So, Zeke.
I have a role playing show to do in half an hour, which I will tell you about in my shout out.
Co's got to go sleep. We all got things to do. Zeke, do some shout out.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys very much for watching or listening out there. I do appreciate it. Big thanks to Co and JP for being a part of this every week with me. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow and subscribe. It's free. If you want to catch me, I will be on twitch.tv/Table Story in about 30 minutes from now, playing their new role-playing show, Gone. And it's a lot of fun. A lot of familiar faces. A lot of weird, wacky, wild situations. Pumpkinberry is throwing us through the ringer, and I couldn't be happier. If you want to catch me tomorrow, there's a special show tomorrow. If you ever watched Table Stories Nocturne, we're going to be doing a very special episode tomorrow with one of the side stories from Nocturne that we did with a group of guys called the Ghost Grabbers, which is, just a YouTuber play on like the fucking supernatural Ghost Facers guys, where they go out. It's also role playing, tabletop role playing in the same universe as Nocturne, and we're gonna be doing a new haunted or whatever place, supernatural place, and we're gonna be the same characters. A lot of people returning as the same characters they were in that episode. So that's happening tomorrow at I believe 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. But I will be continuing Cloudpunk. If you want to watch that, I've been enjoying that game. Cloudpunk will be continuing at noon on Friday, noon Pacific on Friday. So there you go. That's what's coming up. Thank you.
Awesome stuff, Cohh. Do some shout outs.
Sure. As always, thank you to JP and Zeke, and of course, you guys for watching. My name is Cohh. I'm going to be streaming at 8 a.m. ET the following week, hopefully, as I recover through whatever this is that we've been dealing with. Maybe back this evening for a chill Fallout stream if I actually wake up a little bit. We'll see. And then hopefully we'll get the cozy streams going with more RimWorld and some other fun stuff in the afternoons. On the channel, you're going to see probably more Fallout. Going to be checking out Gears Tactics tomorrow. We're going to be checking out a game called Stone Shard, which had a big update. Very fun little turn-based RPG. That's going to be fun getting back to that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will see you all next time.
Awesome stuff. I'm always off center here. Hi, I'm JP. I'll be playing Gears Tactics in like 3 minutes right after this. I'm pretty close to the end of the game, so if you're wary of spoilers or anything like that, stay the fuck away. I don't want to spoil that game for you if you're at all interested in it. Then we'll be finishing that up probably tomorrow. I don't know how much I have left in the game, but we'll either finish it up tomorrow or on Friday, then jump back into Persona. In terms of upcoming shows, tomorrow night we got Roleplay Echoes of Eternity. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern for some Star Wars stuff. Friday we've got another episode of the pre-show with myself. Is Jericho better Co or Lesser Co now? Lesser Co, I think. I think he's still Lesser Co. He'll be joining us. What?
Subpar Co.
Subpar Co. And Ammunition. That'll be Friday. And then another episode, a doubleheader of the pre-show on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern with DJ Wheat, Day9, and Shocks. That'll be here on this channel as well as everyone else's channel on the show. So if you want to watch that, we hope you do tune in, or you can check out the VOD over at thepre.show. That's it for Drop Frames. If you missed the spoiler cast, by the way, the VODs are available for that, for Final Fantasy VII. With myself, Cohh, Maximilian, Dude, and Strapino. That was on Sunday. That's it for us, though. I guess we'll be back next week. Hey, all those segments that I said I had planned for the show, Cohh and Zeke, we didn't need them. So I'll use them next week. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Sounds good.
We'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Stay the fuck away from each other and stop coughing. Cohh, I'm going to have dividers here. Jesus, you're getting us sick.